Welcome back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. This is part 16 and we are still in the Plitvice Lakes region, and we're about to explore an abandoned building with some historical significance. So we are off to the former president of Yugoslavia, President Josip Tito's summer residence. This is just one of the places he used to go to. I do believe there is another one on some island somewhere that's also abandoned, but this one is in the Plitvice Lakes region. So unfortunately, this former mansion or villa is dilapidated. There's no other word for it. It's a ruin. It has been looted of all its copper piping, I guess. All the electrical wiring seems to have disappeared as well, and anything that could have been smashed or vandalized already has. The taggers and graffitists have made their way inside, and they've done a fair bit of visual damage, I guess. Every window has been smashed out, and there's even an elevator that's in there, and that's also been stripped of pretty much anything that was worthwhile taking. Having said this, it really still is worthwhile coming out here. If you're an urban explorer of any sort, or just like to look at old buildings that were once occupied by dignitaries, heads of state, etc., with quite a lot of history behind it, then this is definitely up your alley. Now, on a positive, the stonework around the perimeter of the building, and also any internal walls that have made or constructed of that stonework, is actually in really good nick, and you wouldn't really have to do too much to that. It's just all the interior that's been pretty much stripped of everything. Now, just for a little bit of history, the villa or the mansion, I'm not sure what's the best term to call this place, may have been constructed sometime in the 1950s. Some local sources suggest that the construction began as early as 1948 and was finished definitely in 1953, while others say between 1955 and 1958, with also some claiming that forced labour was used in the construction. But whether this is fact or fiction, it can't be verified. I think it's just what the locals maybe like to sort of peddle to the tourists, a bit like the Loch Ness Monster, I guess. Now, unfortunately, the internet has numerous reference and information on this villa. However, they do tend to also contradict one another. What is for certain was the building was certainly used until the beginning of the Croatian War of Independence in 1991. Now, there is also a note back in 2006 that the Croatian president of the time, Stefan Mesic, visited the villa and promised to renovate it to how it once was, but as you can see, nothing's really happened. What was also surprising was Alexander, my son, while exploring, found numerous crates of toilets, or urinals to be exact. They were brand new but smashed, and they were in the loft, and he said that there were still a few that were still undamaged, which was quite interesting. And finally, it was mentioned that the UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher came to visit here during her term in office sometime in late September or October of 1980, according to one local. But I'm not sure if that's true either. But anyway, it's a good story, and I'll leave you with all the visuals of this abandoned villa that was once occupied and used by President Tito of the former Yugoslavia.
go anywhere? Come down then.
So as we head down this corridor, and you can see the graffiti down the end, we believe this to be the presidential suite. It's the only one that has a bit of carpet left. There is a lift nearby, but it's also got its own internal stairwell. It also is a lot larger than any other room that's in the whole place. It is sort of situated, to best describe it, is on the north wing on the far east side. And it does have dual balconies, so you do get to overlook the national park.
I'm guessing this is the main suite, or the presidential suite. It's got a huge, looks like a gas fireplace. Let's see what's upstairs. It's got its own indoor or own stairwell. Oh yeah, this has to be the main one. This is all decked out in nice wood and everything. Let's see what his view is. I can only assume that these trees weren't as high back in the late 80s, 70s I guess, and even before. Wow. Pretty much all the rooms are like this. This has been totally closed off here. Someone's punched the hole, as you can see. We've gone all the way down. There's channels. This is a pleasant sort of a room. I mean, wrecked too much. Excuse me with my sniffly nose. Wow. Now this was told to us by a local at the Airbnb we were staying at. He said if you follow this road it will take you to Tito's mansion. And I'm assuming this is like his place where he vacations, or he retreats to, or his holiday house, I guess. That's the main road in. Very lucky to find this. Oh, I'd have to assume that there's got to be heaps of videos on this, or YouTube videos anyway, just by the graffiti in here, so it would have been documented by those sort of guys, or even just people who enjoy exploring abandoned buildings, which, you know, a few years ago I would have said that's a bit of a lame thing to do, but it really is history, and you can only surmise what discussions were had here, whether it was a family sort of atmosphere for that President Tito guy, or was it a place where, you know, foreign policies were made, or leaders from other countries came to dictate their terms to the rest of us. But it is a big place. It's hard to describe. I'm going to throw the drone up. I'm not sure if Alexander wants to fly. He's overawed by it. He said this is probably the best find we've ever had. And I said, well, we haven't really looked for anything. But it is quite spectacular, this place. And all I can say is it's near the I didn't know how to pronounce it. Well, we're staying at the lakes, and this is nearby. You have to come by car. You will not be able to walk it. It's a fair distance, and there is no signs to indicate this is here. Either the locals will let you know, or you ask them, and if they're polite enough, they might let you know where it is. It's interesting it's not made into some sort of historical landmark. I could only once again surmise that maybe the Croatian people didn't have a soft spot for Tito at all. But this has just been left to its devices, and yeah. Yeah, I think this is definitely Tito's balcony to get the, if it is Tito's mansion. And according to the locals, it is. So we can only go by that. And he's definitely got the best view. And this is his balcony. So we actually found the presidential suite, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
So here we are near the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It is part 16 that's now done, and we're on to part 17. It did go on a lot longer than I expected, so thank you for sitting through it all. And if you did like the video, by all means, give us that thumbs up, hit the like button, I guess, and please subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really helps out the channel immensely. But once again, most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a really great day.